In my previous video, I talked about how partnership bots is a tool designed to help your server grow. They promised and even provided this simple solution, but it quickly turned out to be nothing more than a cash grab. Let's start off with Steve Jobs again. Way back, he was the original owner of the old Bridgify bot. However, due to some allegations against him in the Google document report, he no longer wants the bot. This is why he made sure to sell the Bridgify bot code and the bot support server, allegedly, so someone else could take over the project. Instead of just leaving the bot for good, Steve Jobs began selling his old bot codes by overcharging them to other people, even though he gave up ownership of Bridgify. But it turns out he was allegedly selling broken, unusable codes that he knew wouldn't work, so he could make money for himself. It is also worth noting that he was allegedly fired for being racist when he was involved with AutoPartner, according to someone else's statement. Steve Jobs also refused to transfer the developer portal team even after selling the bot codes. And well, to me, this was a clear act of sabotage against the new Bridgify team by forcing them to rebrand and restart everything from scratch again with the bot. It's just so pitiful to see Steve Jobs completely destroy his own bot.
The self-destruct coin slot has been activated. 10 seconds till detonation.
Coin-operated self-destruct. Not one of my better ideas.
Which is why Steve Jobs has deleted the Bridgify bot and it is now gone for good. He, on the other hand, disappeared from the platform and is nowhere to be found while his old support server is owned by someone else. Since the bot was purchased by someone named Ali, allegedly, the new owner immediately created a new team of developers to help run and code the bot. Their clear priority was to try and fix the mess Steve Jobs has made so the project could get back on the right path and recover the bot's damaged reputation. However, based on the Google document report, the new Bridgify owner quickly became inactive on Discord. I think this person just gave up on it because they abandoned the bot, which is why someone else took ownership of Bridgify, and that is French Scar. Now, when French Scar had ownership, they allegedly hired a developer to work on the bot, which is where Aaron comes along. Based on Aaron's report, French Scar blackmailed him, which is frankly quite funny because that isn't blackmail. He wasn't truly forced to do anything. He could have simply blocked them and carried on with his day. But no, he chose to work with French Scar because the poor baby just wanted to get mass unbanned everywhere. And honestly, that's just sad. He wasn't forced, and let's be real, nowhere in that document does it say French Scar had a gun pointed to his head demanding he help the bot or else. Like he had the freedom to choose by ignoring this person, but he didn't, which is his own fault. So him blaming French Scar for blackmailing is ridiculous and just shows his own stupidity. But here's the thing though, why is Aaron being targeted for blackmail in the first place? Like for this situation to take place, French Scar would have needed some kind of real dirt on him, doing something he shouldn't have, right? Otherwise, this whole story doesn't make any logical sense. Now later on, there were new allegations against French Scar. However, I don't have the evidence to provide because this is based on rumors. But given the situation, my educated guess is that this person quit and left Discord as a direct result of these accusations, allegedly. Of course, I could be wrong, so please take this with a grain of salt. I also want to point out that when French Scar quit, they gave Aaron ownership of the bot, while the server ended up being owned by some random person and the server name was changed as well. It just seems like no one really cared about the server anymore, which explains why another Bridgify support server was eventually created. The reason Aaron created a brand new Bridgify support server is because he was banned from the old one for no apparent reason. This is the point where his actions start to become questionable. Like instead of moving forward by developing his own partnership bot and growing his own server from the ground up, he decided to use another bot to mass DM advertise without consent in order to get members from the old Bridgify server so they can join his new one. It doesn't matter who did what. If you're banned from a server, that doesn't give you the right to use your bot to mass DM people, especially when you don't even own the server in the first place. I also find it strange that the bot Aaron was using to mass DM people isn't in any mutual servers at all, allegedly, which makes the whole situation a little bit more suspicious. As I mentioned before, the old Bridgify support server became dead, and over time, ownership was transferred to a few different people, and the server name was changed multiple times. All these constant ownership swaps and name changes basically just killed the server. My best guess is that whoever had ownership in the end probably gave it away to another random user just to leave the server altogether. Now that Aaron owns Bridgify and runs his own support server for it, you would think he would finally step up and clean up all the drama, especially after all the failures and bad reputation Bridgify has been getting. But nope, it actually gets even worse. In fact, Aaron decided to create another Bridgify bot.
Oh shit, here we go again.
Because he thought someone might delete the one that was given to him out of pettiness. If he was that worried, he should have just created his own unique partnership bot from scratch from the start. So that way he wouldn't have to be so paranoid about people deleting it. But now it feels more like he's just trying to rebuild something that's already been broken. It doesn't matter how many times he creates the bot, the main problem with the whole Bridgify situation has always been the people running it. They clearly didn't know what the hell they were doing or how to manage it properly. This just shows that Bridgify was ran by a bunch of imbeciles who were basically trying to wing it. The same goes for the current developer, because so far it felt like they were all playing musical chairs with this bot. And to make things even worse, money got involved, which is why the drama started in the first place, allegedly. They didn't make this bot purely for fun or to help small servers. It was all about making money. Like seriously, what's the point of selling the bot when the people behind it clearly have no idea what they're doing? Like, this is just ridiculous, and this drama is really hurting my brain. Anyways, Bridgify is officially dead. Aaron rebranded the bot into Adfinity, and to the people he's still using Adfinity, just understand this. The bot is nothing more than an empty shell of what Bridgify used to be. Bridgify no longer exists, and you can deny it all you want, but the reality is that Affinity will always resemble the drama in a failed project, no matter how many changes they make. As I mentioned before, Steve Jobs and Logan were both developers of AutoPartner. However, the bot never really worked and mostly just kept spamming errors, but eventually Steve Jobs either quit or got fired. But since I don't have any proof that he was fired by rthe, I'm going to assume he quit and left the server, even though Logan claimed that Steve was fired. And speaking of Logan, he also quit because he needed to focus on real life issues, which is understandable. But since both of them left AutoPartner, that's when the server and bot basically became dead. No one was maintaining it, and people kept running into problems which made the bot useless. Now remember I talked about Aaron and the whole Bridgify drama? Well, it turns out rthe actually hired him to work on AutoPartner, which was supposed to make things better, right? Nope, somehow the situation got even worse. You see, Aaron was supposed to work on AutoPartner, which he did, but he half-assed the job. My theory is that he actually worked on AutoPartner first, before Bridgify, because while he was still supposed to be working on AutoPartner, French Scar, however, messaged him about working on the Bridgify bot, which he agreed to do, allegedly. As for AutoPartner, yeah, he added a few features to the bot here and there, but nothing really changed except for a bunch of false promises. He was clearly spending way more time working on Bridgify, which is honestly a no-brainer. Like, how dumb can you be to work on two bots at the same time, allegedly, when you should have just focused on one? Because logically, a bot developer can't manage two different projects. It's just not possible, especially when you have to pay for hosting, which definitely isn't cheap, and coding itself takes a lot of time if you actually want the bot to fully function properly. Like, if you're going to code a bot and actually work on it, then do that instead of ditching AutoPartner just to work on another bot. And if you notice, he spent way more time working on Bridgify than AutoPartner. And neither of those bots even belonged to him at the time, because Bridgify was owned by someone else. So yeah, he really shouldn't have been working on multiple bots when the first one still needed fixing. Now, based on what a Discord user said in the AutoPartner support server, they were having issues with the bot not working properly and reached out to Aaron for help. But instead of taking responsibility, Aaron however claimed it wasn't his fault, saying it had something to do with server setup issues, which I find this to be strange. Like, how are you able to get Bridgify working perfectly fine, but somehow can't get AutoPartner to function properly? Like, that doesn't make any sense. And it really feels like he didn't care enough to fix the bot, allegedly, and instead decided to make excuses by putting the blame on something else. Because if multiple users are saying the same thing, that the bot doesn't work, then the issue clearly isn't just a server problem, it's a developer problem. Aaron suddenly made an announcement saying he quit AutoPartner and now he's more focused on Bridgify, which honestly isn't surprising. Like, no one was really doing anything with AutoPartner anyway. The reason he quit though is because he and Haiti allegedly had drama with each other. To put it short, Aaron claimed that Haiti was using him, which is false because he wasn't being used. And even if he was, he basically signed up for it the moment he agreed to work on AutoPartner. Like, seriously, stop saying you were being used or blackmailed because you had a choice in the matter. The real problem is that every time things go south, you start pointing fingers at everyone else instead of owning up to your own mistakes. After all, no one forced you to work on AutoPartner or Bridgify. You chose to do it. You could have just sat back, relaxed, and watched these guys ruin their own Discord bots. Because let's be real, they clearly had no idea what they were doing. Meanwhile, you could have been focused on your own partnership bot, something built from your own effort without relying on other people's stupidity. And look, I'm not going to put all the blame mainly on the developer. Like, yeah, part of it is his fault, but technically, it's both him and the owner of AutoPartner. Because this whole situation just shows that Haiti should have just shut the bot down and the server altogether. But instead, he decided to hire another developer in order to fix the bot once again. This is just wishful thinking. Like, let's be real, he's not shutting this down anytime soon, even though he really should. Because Steve Jobs quit, Logan quit, and Aaron even quit. Like, that's a sign of major red flags right there. And now you have this developer that Haiti hired, which honestly, I'm just going to take a wild guess and say that this person is going to quit as well. This whole project just feels like it was built for developers to give up on. Wasn't anyone wants to admit it or not. Now the new developer for AutoPartner previously used to work for BumpMe, which I'll talk about later. However, they're no longer in the BumpMe support server. And I don't know why. Maybe they left and moved on. Maybe he had some drama, or wherever the reason may be, who knows. But I do know is that they're currently working on AutoPartner as of recording this. Either way, this bot will never truly work because it's based on something impossible. You simply can't have auto partnerships that send or accept partner requests automatically without using a command. Sure, on paper it sounds like a nice idea, don't get me wrong, but in practice it just doesn't work. AutoPartner is a failed project.
I'm sorry. He's gone.
And the owner needs to accept that instead of pretending it's going to magically work someday. Don't get me wrong though, I'm not trying to spread negativity about this bot because the idea itself is possible, just not as a Discord bot. This idea could work way better as a website where users could send and receive automatic partner requests and choose to accept or decline them directly on the platform. And logically, that would make a lot more sense. Because trying to make it work through a Discord bot, however, is just not possible, especially without a proper development team. And with Haiti running things the way he is, it's simply not going to happen. And at the end of the day, you might as well shut this project down and focus more on your main server, fire advertising. Because right now, all you're really doing is wasting both the developer's time and your own. Because the way this bot is being managed just isn't sustainable. And it shows when every developer you hire eventually ends up quitting. And let me be clear, this isn't about me hating on the bot. It's about recognizing when something isn't working and knowing when it's time to move on. Next up is Partnercord, which was coded by Axie. I can't say his full name, so I just call him Axie for short. But anyways, he started working on Partnercord while Sammy was the owner of the bot. So once the bot reached a certain number of Discord servers, they can get it verified. The problem is that the bot couldn't get verified because it kept running into issues during the verification process, which is why they ended up creating a brand new bot so they can delete the old Partnercord bot to avoid dealing with the same verification problems again. But even this bot didn't last long because Axie, the person who was coding Partnercord, stopped working on it after being accused of things like ban evasion, stealing codes, and etc. Basically, he created another bot similar to Partnercord and added fake stats to the bot information command. When someone called him out on it, he started making excuses. But honestly, I don't really see the problem here. Like, for all we know, he probably could have made this as a test bot so he could experiment with some features before adding them to the main bot, right? Don't get me wrong though, he was acting a bit shady, and the way he responded didn't help the situation either, but accusing him of something serious over a test bot with fake stats just feels unnecessary, especially when that's a pointless accusation to make on him without any evidence that he did anything wrong. Same thing with the allegations talking about the code theft. Like, this just doesn't hold up at all. Axie is a developer who coded Bump Me and Partnercord on his own, so there's no real reason for him to steal anyone else's code when he's already proven he can develop bots by himself. The only possible way for this to make any sense is if this whole drama and all these accusations were done on the down low on purpose behind the scenes without any actual proof to back them up, allegedly. Anyways, before Axie left the Discord bots he was working on, he deleted all the bots' information on purpose. And with him gone, they had other people managing Bump Me and Partnercord afterwards. But since Partnercord wasn't growing nearly as much as Bump Me, which is ironic because Bump Me isn't growing either, but they eventually shut the bot down and made an announcement about it. And when I tried to find the announcement message, it no longer exists. They quickly deleted the announcement and revamped the entire server and turned the Partnercord support server into Bump Me. The old Bump Me support server, however, was changed into Advertise Your Community way back. At this point, I'm just getting so tired of constantly switching servers, changing bot names, deleting messages, and rebranding everything every 5 fucking minutes. Like, this is just ridiculous because they don't even know what the hell they're doing. And let's be real, they don't actually care about improving the bot. All they want is to shove this shitty bot into tons of servers and use people just to make money off of it. The way they paint everyone about Partnercord being shut down just to delete the announcement and instantly rename the server just shows how slimy they really are. It's obvious they didn't care about the bot. They gave up on it because they allegedly refused to fix it. So instead, they took the easy way out by shifting all their attention to Bump Me, which is clearly the only bot they actually care about. The owner, Sammy, is a toxic person who constantly tries to rage bait people, allegedly start unnecessary drama, ban users for no reason, and overall proves she has no idea how to properly manage these bots.
Be stupid somewhere else.
Because both Bump Me and Partnercord are failed projects which she refuses to accept. Although I don't really think Partnercord will stay there forever, like they'll probably revive it again at some point, just to pretend I can actually help people. Because if you look at Bump Me, they keep on bringing this bot back online over and over and over and over again, acting like it's the best bump bot when everyone else can clearly see it's not. Whether they want to accept it or not, this bot is dead and is now just an empty shell of what it used to be. And constantly reviving it won't change anything. My point is that these guys have no real goal for the bot except making money, instead of actually improving the bot by helping small servers grow, or even trying to fix problems Discord users constantly keep on dealing with. It's like they are choosing to ignore everything that actually matters, and that's the sad part. Both of these bots do have potential, I'm not denying that. But the potential is completely wasted because of their stupidity. And honestly, it's a real shame to see something that could have been great just to be handled so poorly because of mismanagement and their objective to profit over quality. Also, a small update, the developer that was working for BumpMe is no longer in the server anymore. And according to other people's statement, he had a history of nuking Discord servers in the past before he was even hired to work for BumpMe. Now that he's gone, they replaced him with Aaron again, which is just ridiculous. Like, this is the reason why BumpMe is trash. But I also wanted to point out another developer who used to work for BumpMe. He was part of the BumpMe team, and they wanted him to fix some of the bot codes. But based on his response, the code in the entire database was such a complete mess that he couldn't fix it, which only makes perfect sense for why the support server is so unorganized and chaotic. This bot and the server as a whole just have way too many issues. And at the end of the day, if you idiots have so much energy to ban people for no reason, then how come you can't put that same energy into actually fixing your shitty bot? Like, this is exactly what's going to be their own downfall. Moving on to Partnerpal, and the result is that this bot hasn't improved in any meaningful way. And as I mentioned in my previous video, Partnerpal only had basic commands, and months later it still hasn't changed, like nothing new has been added to this bot. The support server, however, is a whole other problem on its own, because in the past, this server was actually kind of decent, but now it's just a hollow shell what it used to be. Because if you're looking to get some help on this server, my advice is don't even bother. They made sure that you can no longer access the support channels anymore unless you pay for a premium, which is just ridiculous. Members join this server to either get help or learn more about the bot, but instead of actually fixing the issue, they just hid everything behind a paywall when they could have easily made a FAQ section, a resource channel, or even a simple guide to help people understand how the bot works. Like, there were so many better solutions they could have used, right? It just feels so lazy that they didn't even care enough about the people who actually needed help and only cared more about the privileged premium users that's paying for this bot, which defeats the whole purpose of a support server in the first place. Like, ask yourself, would you really pay money just to access channels for basic support? Let me know in the comments. And it gets even worse. If you don't have Partnerpal Premium, they expect you to go to some website just to get support when no one's even using it, because it's just trash and a fucking joke. Adding a paywall just to access basic support is a pathetic move, but it makes perfect sense why the server is basically dead. People can't do anything in it anymore, allegedly. When your support system is locked behind a paywall system, you're basically telling your users you don't care about them unless they're paying you. Not only that, but there's no communication from them, especially when this server is just dead, despite having over 2,000 members. Like, they haven't even added any new updates for the bot. But according to the announcement, they work on a new feature, but of course it's for people who have premium. Although most people may not see this like a big deal, but it kinda is, because it took them months just to add a single feature, and even now they still aren't communicating with anyone in the support server or improving the bot. Like, ask yourself this, why haven't they added a report button yet? When there are bad servers out there, like, everyone knows this, which is why you should be able to report a server the moment the bot sends you a partner request, right? But Partnerpal doesn't give you that option. Instead of adding basic safety features or improving the bot in ways that actually matter, they take months just to release anything. They allegedly putting little to no effort because a report button should have been one of the first features added to the bot, especially with how most bad servers are using this bot. This entire situation just shows that they don't care about safety or improving the bot. Instead, they're being lazy and refusing to make support available for everyone to use. and this is why there's no real competition anymore. Partnerpal has gotten sloppy because they don't have to try anymore. They're already in 6,000 servers and growing. So from their perspective, there's no real reason to improve anything. Like, why bother updating the bot or fixing issues when people are going to use the bot regardless? That's exactly why the quality has dropped. It seems they are relying more on the size of the bot initially instead of effort. But if they continue down this path with no new features or improvements, Partnerpal will absolutely die out, proving that partnership bots are not what they were made out to be. Also, a side note I wanted to mention in my other video about partnership bots is that Partnerpal was supposed to pay certain people that own a big advertising server allegedly for sponsoring their bot, but they never actually followed through. Even though the intention was there, the agreement never really went anywhere. Normally, for sponsorships, they pay you to promote their product and perhaps offer a discount codes, allegedly, to show the product has value. But as I keep saying, nothing actually happened, so I wouldn't really call it a sponsorship. The way I see it was maybe just an offer or just free promotion. Overall, the Partnerpal support service is toxic, and the staff members are oftentimes disrespectful for no reason. For buying over 6,000 servers, they clearly don't care about the people using it anymore. Even when you try to give good feedback, instead of listening or improving the bot, they just delete the messages and ignore the issues, acting as if they don't care about the community at all. This problem could easily be fixed if they cared enough to communicate, listen to criticism seriously, and treat their community with respect. Which begs the question, is there any hope left for partnership bots at all? Because for me, I'll say no. But maybe way back when they first started, it seemed possible. And I'll admit, I actually did have a bit of hope for these bots to show their true potential on how partnerships could help folks. But sadly, not anymore. The first reason is that money got involved. And basically, greed just ruined these bots altogether, allegedly. Like, Bridgify is a good example of this, especially when Steve Jobs was selling the bot and the assets that came with it, even if they were just broken codes. My point is that this entire focus was always on how much money they could get from people. Instead of focusing on helping communities grow by giving them a better tool for partnering with other servers, the sad reality is that these partnership bots could have been something truly useful. But when developers only care about making money, they don't care less about small servers actually struggling. Which brings me to my second reason, is that these people simply just don't care. They don't care about improving the bot. They only want to add limitations where the bot could have potential or lock certain basic features behind paywalls, and then act like everything is all fine, which is straight up bullshit. Everyone is just desperate for members because they themselves want to own a big server. Like, that's a no-brainer. However, the problem is that people keep believing the propaganda these bot developers keep feeding them, especially when it comes to growing your server or getting members fast.
Congratulations, you played yourself.
For example, if a bot claimed it could get your server 1 million members, people would most likely add that bot instantly without doing any basic research, allegedly. Of course, no bot can magically give you millions of members, that's not real. I also want to point out that all these accusations about developers using AI to code Discord bots is just ridiculous. Like, who cares? That shouldn't even matter. What should matter in this situation is whether the bot can actually help people grow their servers, instead of complaining or making excuses. I'm not here to defend anyone, but the main goal should always be helping small servers that are struggling. Like, that's the whole point of partnership and bump bots to begin with. And yet, instead of focusing on that, they're too busy pointing fingers at each other, which is just a distraction from the real issue they clearly seem to not give a shit about. None of these bots are actually doing their job to help people. It's excuses, excuses, and more excuses. And it's starting to get very old and very annoying. In my conclusion, the people who were working on these partnership bots were never really serious about helping anyone. This was all based on just a trend because they saw Partnerpal blow up, which is why everyone else jumped on the bandwagon because partnership bots weren't really on the market yet. So they used this opportunity as a way to make money. But it all fell flat because each bot ended up having unnecessary problems, developer issues, and poor management. It became very obvious that this wasn't about passion or helping small servers grow. It was mainly just about making profit. Of course, I could be wrong based on the situation, but explain this. Why does every single partnership bot suddenly make mass partnership a premium paid feature? If this isn't purely about money, then explain why these bots are so basic. Like, I can understand Partnerpal keeping their bots simple, but that doesn't make it good. As for the rest of the bots, there are no excuses. If you intend to build a useful partnership bot, don't just copy and paste the exact same broken system that another bot is already using. Because honestly, it just makes them look lazy and cheap. Like, let's be real here. If you see a Discord bot doing a poor job at something, the smart move would be to build your own bot by identifying the problems your competition has. That means looking at the flaws they ignored or struggle with, and by fixing those weaknesses, you can offer a better free version of a partnership bot that small servers can actually rely on, so they can actually grow instead of just having stupid paywalls. So yes, it is a cash grab because they didn't even bother putting real effort into making a good partnership system that people can rely on. A proper partnership bot will offer tons of solid free features while still having premium, making both sides balanced and fair. Instead, these bots lock basic features behind paywalls, giving almost nothing to free users, making the bot useless, and yet they still expect people to use it like nothing is wrong. Take for instance, BumpMe is a bot that's supposed to help you grow, right? However, due to poor management and stupidity, this bot can't even get out the fucking ground. So if anyone tries to tell you that BumpMe can actually help you grow, just know those people are basically salesmen trying to convince you to add this shitty product into your server. You can tell this bot is completely soulless because they don't have a real brand or even know what they're doing. And if you compare it to WeBump, which I personally dislike, but I'll still give them credit where it's needed because at least they actually have a brand which looks super amazing and they know what they're doing. Sure, WeBump has made some mistakes, but BumpMe has made way more. Regardless, as I said before, I really did like the idea of partnership bots and wanted to see if anyone will actually take the concept to the next level. However, the people I gave hope to completely ruined it, especially when these bots had so much potential for improvement, and yet they simply chose to be lazy. And look, I'm not here to hate on these guys or be negative. I'm just here to point out that these partnership bots are just trash because they keep making the same clones and recycling the same basic features but offering nothing new or useful. They just copy what another partnership bot has already done, just like bump bots. Like, yeah, AutoPartner tried to be different, but it hardly ever worked. The problem is that the more you support these low-effort bots that only do the bare minimum, the more bare minimum results you're going to get, which is unacceptable because you have every right to expect partnership bots to provide real features and real value for everyone to use. At the end of the day, these people simply don't actually care about doing anything right, and that is actually why partnership bots are dead. It's not just because they failed. The real reasons were constant drama, greed, and laziness. They never took the idea seriously and refused to put in the effort and turned this entire niche into a complete circus and a total joke because these people never took it seriously in the first place, allegedly. When it didn't have to be this way. There used to be real potential for partnership bots at one point, but most of them either failed or quit. And the reason is simple. The people running them were too busy fighting with each other, trying to make quick money, and making cheap clones by copying each other's bots. Instead of actually improving the system, they turned the whole thing into drama, greed, and laziness. This chaotic environment is exactly why the entire partnership bot as a whole collapsed. So yeah, that's all I have to say, and these are just my opinions, but tell me your thoughts. Do you still believe using any of these bots are worth the effort, or is partnership bots as a whole already dead? Share your stories in the comments. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe for more videos.